I don't know how I'm supposed to have sympathy for a character when all she does is constantly make more mistakes. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I am going to be talking about Gotham, episode 21, The Anvil or the Hammer. And yes, this is the second last episode of Gotham. Next week is going to be the finale. But before we get into all that's going to be happening next week, let's get into the stuff that happened into the episode today, okay? Because this was actually a step up, in my opinion, from the last two episodes. I actually enjoyed this one a lot more. There were still some negative things about it. A lot of it is really nitpicky, but there was one big elephant in the room, and if you notice from my introduction, I'm kind of hinting at it there, so let's get to this. First, the episode starts off with Barbara and the ogre, who has been in the last two episodes as this main villain. And yeah, Barbara in the last episode kind of smiled when she saw his weapon room. And all of a sudden in this episode, she switches that now she's scared after revealing that he was going to kill her. And I would have been scared as soon as I saw the weapons, but okay, whatever makes you kinky, I guess. And yeah, Barbara... To me, there's no redeeming qualities to this character whatsoever. And throughout the entire episode, Gordon and Bullock are trying to track down this ogre to save Barbara. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Ever since this whole Barbara thing, I just lost so much respect for the character since who knows how long already, that I don't care if she's killed or not. That's me personally. I don't know if there's any Barbara fans out there, because everybody that I talk to online and in my surroundings and real life as well, yeah, not a lot of people really care for Barbara. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't see a lot of people talking positively about her. That could be a bad sign. Maybe the writers can fix her next season. As of this season, I think it's way too late to save her from being a horrible character. At this point, I think what would make her a better character is if the writers actually turn her into the Joker for this series. That's my honest truth. I think they should just do it. I think it would make Gotham much more interesting than where it is right now, because the Barbara character is the one, to me, that's destroying the series. She's kind of not destroying the series. I still enjoy Gotham and a lot of the other characters, and I'm not going to stop watching just because I think this character is that bad. But yeah, Barbara is just a loss for me. I do like the ogre in this episode, though. I thought he was really creepy, once again, played by Milo Ventimiglia from Heroes fame. I think he plays the role really well. Everything he's in, he's usually really good from what I've seen. And yeah, he was great in this episode once again. Love Gordon and Bullock. I think those two, these have been the two main focuses of the series, with some other ones here and there, but Gordon and Bullock are definitely the stars. And Bullock had some really nice moments, specifically one when he went to that club and he just pulled out the badge and said, "I'm gonna arrest," when you heard the noise going on. Didn't show us what was happening on stage, but I thought that was funny. We also got Edward Nygma continuing what he was doing from last week after killing Miss Kringle's boyfriend. He's trying to cover up the evidence, and he's plotting, what should I do? How should I, she's going to start wondering and where you are. So what should I do to get her off this track? Should I write a letter? Or maybe a riddle? Who knows? That could be the start. It looks like this is going to be finally the start of Edward Nygma going on his road to becoming the Riddler, which is, I enjoyed that in this episode, even though we got only very little of it. it looks like they're starting to take Edward Nygma somewhere after all this season being wasted. But I'll get to that maybe a little bit next week. I don't want to focus too much on that now. Also, we have Bruce Wayne investigating Wayne Enterprises from last week, and he gets into the building. He goes into Wayne Enterprises and goes up to the office where the key that he stole with Selena from last week at that party. He's gonna go and get into that safe to see if he can get anything, and unfortunately he is stopped and he can't get that far. But we are introduced to Lucius Fox, and after the other guy who's in charge of Wayne Enterprises, it looks like, after he tells Bruce, well, your father had a lot of secrets, and kind of hints at Bruce that he could have had dark secrets, Lucius kind of sheds a little light to Bruce, saying that, you know what, your father, despite what this guy might have said, your father was a really good man, believe me, and he had secrets that maybe they were secrets that could help. And we're going to see next week, I guess, what these secrets are, because I've heard things. I didn't see the preview for next week, but I've heard we might see something. Some people aren't too sure if we should see it or not, but we'll see next week if that happens. I don't know if it is. I don't want to spoil anything for people that didn't see the preview or didn't hear these rumors that I've heard, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Finally, we also have the Penguin in this episode, and his stuff didn't, we knew from last week he was setting up this trap for Maroni so he can finally be rid of him, and it seems like his story right now was a build-up to the finale, which I was right, because after the end of the episode, we find out towards the end that the Penguin had set up this fake arrangement to kill Maroni, but it was actually to start a war between him and Falcone. So now this all-out war is beginning, and to me, I had the feeling that this was going to be how the season was going to end, because there was all this buildup of Maroni versus Falcone throughout the season, and I'm not really surprised that we're getting this for the finale, and I'm actually happy because I can't wait to see it happen. And Sarah Essen at the end there was rallying all the cops, saying, look, we got an all-out gang war going on right now. We need all our resources necessary to stop this. And so it looks like they left on a good little cliffhanger there for next week's finale, and I'm looking forward to it. So what did I think of this episode? I am giving this episode an 8 out of 10. I really thought it was great. I didn't like, again, the Barbara stuff. That was the real weak stuff for me in the episode, because she just seems like a pointless character. She seems dumb, and like that scene where the ogre is giving her a choice on who to kill, and who does she want, the ogre, or who does she choose? She chooses her own parents. And I'm thinking, what the hell, man? I mean, these are the parents that allowed her to stay in her home when she was going all emotionally distressed or whatever she was going on her little journey, spiritual journey, I guess. And her parents get murdered right in front of her. She doesn't even try to stop him. She's just having this worried, shocked look on her face, which doesn't really do much, Barbara. I know you're a woman, but come on, you have to be a better woman than that. This is why I like Leslie. I think Leslie is a much better character than Barbara. I think she's better written. I think she's better handled. Gordon should just have let Barbara die and just worry about Leslie. She's the more interesting female in this of these two, and I don't see any reason why Gordon would like Barbara. I just don't. And they could fix her next season. I've seen other shows where they struggle with the female lead, and they usually tend to fix her. But Barbara has been a character on a downward spiral ever since the show began. At the beginning of this season, I don't even remember what I thought of her at the beginning of the season. I probably thought she was all right, because they didn't really do much with her. And then somewhere around the Christmas finale is where they really when she cheated on Gordon, it just came crumbling down, and there was not even a little, hiccup to go up. It was just like bad from there. But other than that, guys, I really enjoyed the Gordon Bullock scenes. I really enjoyed the Riddler scenes. I really enjoyed the Penguin stuff, the Bruce Wayne stuff, all that other stuff. I really enjoyed. So 8 out of 10. I'm not gonna let Barbara ruin the show for me just because I think she's a horrible character. But I have hope for the character for next season. If they can find a way to change her up and make her more interesting next year, then maybe my mind will change on it. But right now, yeah, she's the weakest link that I wish would be written out of this show. So until next week, guys. Next week is the finale. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope it's, even an 8 out of 10 would be good enough for me. It looks like it will be good because I am excited to see this war that they've been building up to between Falcone and Maroni, and I want to see Penguin rise to power. I think he's a great character that deserves it. So until next week, take care.